What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Day-to-Day Life. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry about the slight connection issue there. We've adjusted some things and hopefully we're good for today's live stream. But let me know in the comments or in the live chat if there are any issues with audio or streaming quality. Hopefully it's back. Like I said, if it's really bad, please let me know. And we will try to get it fixed. We had to drop our quality just a little bit to hopefully get the stream to go through great. Without lagging too bad. So like I said, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. We are doing a Sunday evening edition of the show, which is kind of different, but we're trying some different time slots, just seeing what works better for everybody. I don't know what everybody's schedules look like, and personally, obviously I'm a full-time reseller, so I can kind of do it whenever, but it's got to be, we'll see how it goes. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Recon said, gosh, stop making it lag. It's fine. All right, hopefully we're back. Is the quality okay? Because the quality looks like really crappy on the preview. So let me know if the quality is really bad or not, because I would rather try to fix it if it is. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, we are trying a few different time slots, and we wanted to try the Sunday evening because not everybody works full-time as a reseller. And you may have a Monday through Friday job. You might have a job that you work in the mornings, whatever it is. So I just want to throw out some different ideas and hopefully get some more people that are able to join us for the streams. Thank you, Recon, for joining. And those of you that are already watching, I do appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and get started. Obviously, we're going to be shipping out orders from the same time period, Friday through today, up until just right before the stream. We printed out all the labels. I did not pre-box anything this time because honestly, I have less orders going out. So I figured we might need a little bit of extra time to get through some of the topics that we want to talk about today. So hopefully that works. But as always, feel free, if you are watching live, leave comments, leave questions, leave ideas on what you want to talk about, even if it's not reselling related. And then obviously, if you're rewatching this, thank you guys so much for rewatching it. Hit that thumbs up button. I'd appreciate that. That helps out a lot. And you can always leave comments down below as well. Even if you're rewatching this afterwards, I try my best to get back with you guys as much as I can. And, you know, feel free to let me know, and then maybe we can talk about it in the next episode. So I don't know when we're going to have the next episode. I'm going to be honest, guys. I am at the point where my schedule is going crazy, and that's kind of why we're doing this today. I knew I had today open and free. We are T-minus pretty much 4 weeks. We are at the 4-week mark till hopefully the big move if everything goes smoothly. So everything is starting to pile up, and I have a 100% plan of doing these live streams up until we move. But if something comes up, I'll let you know over on the Instagram and Facebook. Thank you guys for liking that if you haven't already. I tried to make sure to keep you updated, and I realized literally right before this video that my Facebook post never went through over there. So if you follow me over there, I do apologize for the delayed notice on this change of schedule. But I think that covers everything. Like I said, we're going to keep doing this as much as we can, but hopefully we'll be able to keep it pretty regular, and we'll just try to see what time slots fit best. So we'll see how tonight goes, and we'll go from there. All right, let's go ahead and get started with some orders. As I said, I kind of printed my labels differently. I've just got a roll of them here with the item labeled on the back side of it, and we're going to give it a shot because I really don't know how else to do it without going through pre-packaging stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the first one, and we do have to do a little bit of packaging as we go. Recon says, I like Sundays because I can actually show up. I know, that's one of the things I honestly didn't think about. I thought forever, I was like, man, he's not joining in, but I realized now what it was. Excuse me, already starting with the coughing. That's not good. All right. Whew. And here I thought the live streams were always a little iffy just because it was Monday, but apparently that's not the case. It's going to be an interesting one. All right, first order we got going out is this Kimes ranch hat. You guys have seen me sell these all a bunch. Actually, this is my last one. Picked these up for $3, crazy deal, and selling them for 28 bucks over on the Zon. Yeah, I wish I had a ton more of these. I can't believe they were that cheap. When I seen them, I snagged them. I just started selling this brand. Had never really paid attention to it, but it is a pretty decent brand and definitely one to keep an eye out for. Yeah, definitely one you want to keep an eye out for. If you can find it cheap enough, they'd sell really fast. But before I put the label on this, I just realized I wanted to start by covering the numbers because I always forget and I have them pulled up. So for Friday, Saturday, and today, honestly, guys, we had a terrible week. And it didn't kick off until literally yesterday and somewhat today. For this week, we only did about $2,100 over this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is low. We're only around 3,000. So was a rough weekend for sure. Obviously, we still have about 6 hours today to get orders, but normally Sunday evenings are not very busy for me. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's where we're at. And like I said, that you can kind of tell, obviously, it's, the title of this week's stream is Some Weeks Make Me Wonder, am I doing this right? Because we'll dig into it a lot more, but that's one of the main reasons is obviously the sales. I just took me by surprise this week, honestly. But before we get into a whole bunch of that, I do want to go ahead and get a few orders out. But yeah, that's where we're at for the orders this week. Like I said, $2,100 as of right now. We'll probably end up around 23, I would guess, by the end of the day. Normally I have all those numbers ready for you, but obviously doing it this early, we're going to have a few orders come in after. With that being said, though, that is where we are at, and we're going to ship the orders. I don't have a number count on it, but I'm guessing about 35 to 40 orders going out today, which isn't terrible. But again, just the sales volume, the sales dollar amount wasn't quite there. So I've got to make sure that's going to the right person, and it is, like I said, 3 into 28 on that hat. What have you guys been up to this week? Obviously, probably on the weekend right now, and I don't blame you for enjoying it. I actually played some video games today and just kind of took it easy, which has not been the case for me for most of this week. But yeah, what have you guys been up to? We're going to talk about what I've been up to. That's easy for me to do. I'd love to hear what you guys have been up to yourselves. Next up, we've got these Hey Dude Tiger camo. We've been selling the crap out of these things. These are the slides, not the actual Hey Dude shoes, but the Hey Dude slides. And like I said, we've been selling these like crazy. We're down to like the last couple of pairs in some of these sizes, so we'll see how it goes with the other sizes. Basically, with these, once they sell out from Hey Dudes, you have to wait out a few tankers, but then the price goes up, and you can pretty much get what you want to out of them. But it just depends on how long it takes for those people to sell out, and you can get your price. I mean, you can obviously price it competitive too if you want, but me personally, I know I can get those higher prices, so I tend to wait and try to get them when I can. Going out to Kuna, Idaho. I actually know right where that is. I've been there. All right. But this week has been absolutely crazy. And not really in a good way, to be honest with you. Just, yeah, trying to get everything set up, trying to get a rental and stuff. We are going to have to rent for the first place that we get there once we get moved. And so trying to get all that set up. I've been really thinking and trying to plan out the move itself. The other thing with it is I'm actually in the process of trying to buy a truck. And that has been a nightmare in of itself, to be completely honest with you. Obviously, prices aren't where I want them to be, so I'm being kind of picky and trying to get something, that fits in my price range, but it's still something that I want to spend that much on. And with that being said, then you have to deal with dealerships and stuff like that, and that's just been a nightmare. Stories after story to talk about there. This is a Champion dad hat, I guess you call it, just a relaxed fit adjustable dad hat. We picked these up for $3 from the local hat supplier here and selling them for 25 over on Amazon. Excuse me, 24. We are shipping these in poly mailers just because we're trying to maximize our profit. And on Amazon, doesn't matter what you order on Amazon, it's coming in a poly. So I don't feel bad one bit for doing that. Going out to, hopefully it's the right one. Amazon, I hate where it doesn't show it. Yes, it is. Referral. Got to make sure I get the right label on the right package. Anyway, so we've been dealing with that, trying to buy a truck, and it has been, like I said, a nightmare. Actually, literally yesterday, called a dealership that had a truck, called them 10 minutes before I left my house. Hey, do you have this available still? Can I have it ready for a test drive when I get there? Yeah, sure, we'll get it taken care of, blah, blah, blah. Drove an hour and a half there, got there. The truck, they said, sold. And supposedly sold in that hour, which if you guys have ever bought a truck or any vehicle, you know from a dealer it isn't going to sell that fast. There's a lot of paperwork to do. But yeah, according to them, it sold. But of course, they had more options that they'd be happy to show me and, you know, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. I was pretty pissed. I just walked out. I didn't even respond to them. I was pretty aggravated. Wasted 3 hours round trip, total of 3 hours of my day, and, you know, half a tank of gas or whatever it was. It was ridiculous. So it is what it is. That's been the fight. And honestly, I've had to spend a lot of time doing this type of stuff versus reselling, what I normally do for reselling. I did get the photos and the photos taken and edited for all of my hats that I haven't gotten listed yet. So all of that is done. That's good to go. I only got about 25, 30 listings up on the one day, and then the rest of the time I've just been dealing with this and just hunting, literally searching dealerships like crazy, trying to find the vehicle that I'm looking for. So that has pretty much sums up my week. I'm sure we'll cover on a few other things, but it's been a aggravating one to say the least. And on top of that, to kind of get into our topic, is the whole fact of eBay being slow, very, very slow. And we're going to discuss that a little bit here to kind of see what you guys think, because I would love your guys' opinion on this. I'm not one to just sit there and say, you know, oh, eBay is screwing you over, they're holding sales back from you. But we had some very conspiracy like things happen to this week, and it's just making me wonder. So not that we're going to dig into that, we've talked about that a lot, but I am going to discuss what I feel like is affecting my sales and what's causing them, because in all honesty, it's me. Okay, it's as much as I would love to blame somebody else, it's honestly on me. Let's switch it up. We're going to go to a different roll of labels here, get some eBay orders going out. The first order that we have is a NES controller, or no, I'm sorry, it's not an NES controller. What is this? It's a NES SNES controller adapter for Wii U and the regular Wii. We picked these up from a bin store a while back, and I want to say we paid $2, maybe $3 for these. We only sell them for 16, I think. Yeah, 16 is what our price is on them. I picked up about 25 of them though, and we're down to like the last 5 or so. So not crazy profits, honestly. Probably $4, $4.50, just say $5 in shipping, plus another $2 in fees, plus the $2, so about $9. So about $7 profit though from a $2 buy. And when you can get that many of them and they're small like that, I don't mind that one bit. I'll hold on to them. And like I said, I've actually gotten really good reviews for some reason. I guess these ones work really well compared to some others. And so I've had like 2 or 3 feedback from those controllers that are like, they're just ecstatic with them because they work really well. I don't know why I keep trying to grab that one. But yeah. So like I said, this week, one of the things we did this week, besides not doing anything on eBay, is we did put our sale back in. Now, you guys know I went on vacation for a week, came back, actually had great sales during that vacation week, but they died off like the 2 days after I came back, and they've literally been dead up until Friday, or Saturday, excuse me, yesterday. And I wondered some if the sales had died because of coming back from vacation mode. I know, you know, some people would say that that really messes up your store, and I'll be honest, I think it does. It always seems to be really consistent up until you take that vacation mode, and then your sales are all over the place, up, down, all over, you know, kind of that craziness. so I was thinking it was maybe that, but then I also noticed that my promotion for sale items, which I've been running a 15, 10, and 5% sale on a bunch of old stock and larger stock, my shoes and stuff like that, to try to move a lot of it before we make this move. And I realized that promo had ended, I'd set it up to end basically right after I got back from vacation. Kind of used it as a booster for vacation mode. And so I'm wondering now if it was the vacation mode or the fact that that sale ended and then a lot of my items were competitively priced again. Now, I mention this because, again, I have a lot of stuff that I have not gone through and recomped recently. Not that I don't have the time to do it right now. I know I need to make time for that. But I'm always just trying to get all my inventory listed. And again, with this move, I know I blame everything on the move, but I really have been trying to focus on just getting set for that. So getting everything listed, that way everything's up for fourth quarter. I'm basically having to do my fourth quarter prep now because the month of October, which is normally when I would be doing it, or coming up to that month and even a few weeks before, we're moving and going to be doing all of that. So I won't have that time. So I'm having to basically fourth quarter prep now, which is causing me to fall behind on some of the other day-to-day stuff that I should be doing. And what that I think is doing is causing my eBay store to be stale, literally. I'm getting 5 listings to 7 listings a day up, but it's still, I've got a lot of inventory that's just not been touched for, you know, a year now or 6 months at least and so on. And it's stale. It's going stale rather quickly. This next order is a St. Louis Cardinals hat. We picked this up from a bulk buy in, I can't remember if this was my most recent big buy or the one before, but fairly recently, this year at least. Really neat hat. This is St. Louis Cardinals. This was like a custom pack from the place that I purchased them from. They had their own line of customs that I got them from. So nobody else has these, and so you can ask what you want. We actually got $60 for this one, and it is really cool colorway and everything on it. 7.5, size 7.5, and we sold it for $60. But yeah, like I was saying, I know my eBay store is stale, and I think that could be some of it along with that promo ending. So I did put that promo back on with what listings, kind of edited a few listings and got that up and running again for the next couple of weeks. And literally, I did that Friday, and Saturday we had a crazy day. Can I say for 100% sure that that was the case of what, you know, caused it to jump? No, but I really do feel like it had something to do with it. Again, maybe I'm just being superstitious, but I definitely feel like it had something to do with it. And it's now, my sales have been normal today and yesterday, fairly normal, back to kind of just getting this radically. Now, I woke up to about 8 sales on eBay this morning, which is fantastic. I never have that happen over over the day. But then that was like 9 o'clock this morning, and now we've not had anything since then. So crazy, I know, conspiracy, all that stuff, but really it just makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder what eBay wants to see from you. Because like I said, I mean, I've been doing my listings, I've been getting all that stuff up, you know, consistently as I have for a long time now, but it's just not fixing. It's not enough apparently at this point. So we'll just have to see how it goes from here. Next up is also another St. Louis Cardinals hat. This one was a I can't remember what pack it was called, but just an ivory hat side patch. Nothing too fancy, but it is a cool colorway. Not a ton of these available. Sold this one for $55, and again, bought them at the same time, got them at the same time as that other one. These actually, I think, went to the same person, but they're using that Shop Airlines, which I've heard people say that's an actual shopping like website. I don't know if that's the case. I think Shop Airlines is just a freight forwarder, if I'm not mistaken. But it did go to, I got 2 orders at the exact same time for 2 St. Louis Cardinals hats in the exact same size, but they still made me ship them separate. So unfortunately, I couldn't combine shipping on them. But it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. But it would have been nice to get the extra $3 or whatever it would have been had that been the case. Now you may wonder why I'm putting these in here. I actually got these for free with the eBay coupon, the shipping supply coupon. If you haven't, definitely recommend using that if you have a store subscription. And we got these zip poly, I guess they're not polys, they're just zip up bags, and I use them for the white and ivory hats just so they don't get scuffed up or anything on the box. Sometimes they can leave a small mark, and people really like their hats to be pristine, so we use it on those ones when I think of it. I'm gonna be honest, I miss it sometimes, but that is what we got. Like I said, 13 into 55 on that particular one. So that's where we're at with eBay. And unfortunately, I'm a little worried too. Obviously, we are coming into fourth quarter, so that's going to help. But I am a little bit scared because I am going to obviously have to be on vacation mode at least for a few days. I'm going to really try to knock it down to, you know, only like 3 days max that I'm on vacation mode. I don't know if I can do that, but it's going to be real rough. But we're just going to have to see how it goes. I don't know what we're going to do because I don't want to risk taking that. I really don't. I'm at the spot right now where I need to keep the sales consistent through this move to try to get reset. Because I know as soon as I hit the ground, get ready, or once we get the move done, that I am going to need to buy inventory because I've been selling off so much, trying not to buy for the move. So I need those sales to stay consistent. So I had kind of that chunk of change to go out and buy the inventory that I haven't been buying now, to try to hopefully save up for it. And that's been the whole goal with it was, you know, buy up until that point and then go over. I'm noticing I'm getting a little bit of lagging, guys. Let me know if there's any issues. I will try to get it fixed if it continues. It keeps popping up and then going away, so hopefully it's not too bad. But with that being said, if you guys have any ideas or suggestions on what you think helps keep your eBay store running and keeps the sales coming in and stuff like that. I mean, I'm shipping every 2-3 times a day when I can. Most of the time I'm shipping at least 3 times a day. I've been trying that to boost, obviously running the sales, and I need to spend some time and dig into my listings, but unfortunately that's just going to have to wait. We're running some promos. I honestly tried promoting. I'm ashamed to say this. I tried promoting my listings, or at least my hat listings, to try to just get them into some searches just because that's what I've got a majority on. Promoted at like 3.2% or something just to get it above, and seen absolutely no increase. Did it for a month and seen maybe, I didn't see any increase. Honestly, the amount of sales and the amount of hat sales that we got changed nothing. So obviously hats aren't super great to promote, especially if you're the only one that has them. You're not really competing. But a lot of people do search hats by just team. I do. That's how I look for my Arizona Cardinals and my Tampa Bay Rays and all that. I just search eBay for Tampa Bay Rays New Era or 5950 or whatever. So I wanted to try to see if that would help with that, but it really did nothing at all. So I think I kind of wasted a little bit there. Obviously, we made some sales from it, but I don't think it was an improvement at all. Next up, we actually have this really cool Brownie the Elf Browns hat. This is a fitted. I actually have these in snapback. I just got them in snapback too. Super excited. This one sold for $50, and we've not had it listed for very long, so I might have to jump the price a little bit on these. But they are super cool. Historic sideline with the side patch. And yeah, definitely a nice, unique hat for sure with that throwback logo in there. So, like I said, ideas. Would love to hear your guys' ideas. Let me know in the comments or in the chat if you're live, or if you aren't watching this live, if you're rewatching it, let me know in the comments. I would love to get your guys' opinion. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Like I said, I do realize that I'm selling a lot of hats. I'm selling a lot of slower moving product. I'm not expecting, you know, just super consistent sales out of that. I do need shoes. I need to get restocked on those. I'm, you know, running low on those. So I understand there's some of that, but the slowdown that we've had has been unbelievable. Like, it's been less than half, making less than half compared to what we have been. And we should be picking up. It's back to school. Everybody's back to school, or should be at least by this week. So maybe I'm just needing the parents to get their money back. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. All right, have I complained enough? Have I talked about that enough? I probably have. Let's move on. Next up, we got some shoes. We got these white and gray New Balance. I sold them this week. Well, not this pair, but I sold another pair. They're size 15s, and I priced them too low. I knew I did. I priced them at $67.99. They were from the Marshalls yellow tag, and I got them for like $22 or something. But I priced them without the box, like $3 cheaper without the box, and then it dawned on me that they were 15s, and I shouldn't have. Sure enough, they sold literally same day as I got them listed, and I probably could have gotten $80-$90 for them because size 15s are just not that easy to come by. These we picked up from a Kohl's clearance event a while back. Don't remember exactly which one. These are just the standard width, which are not selling as fast as the wide widths. Wide widths are a lot harder to come by, and so a lot of people shop online for them. But these are standard width. They'll still sell, and I've still got probably 6 to 8 pair of these left in different sizes. But this is a size 9, and we got $69.99 if I remember correctly out of them. $70 full retail out of them. And did have to wait a little bit though. These got tanked with the last Kohl's clearance event. They had a lot of these in there, so they get tanked a bit. But evidently they're coming back because everybody likes the all white dad shoes, lawn mowing shoes, right there. That's what you wear to go mow your lawn if you have a lawn. All right. So what else? I've got a whole bunch of little topics that I want to talk about today, but if you guys have anything, let me know. Chat is quiet tonight. Everybody hanging out. Everybody's probably like doing something else would be my guess. So one of the reasons I kind of didn't want to do a Sunday night live stream is because normally on Sunday evenings I'm relaxing, hanging out, doing whatever, and I'm not thinking about work. So not sure how many people wanted to join in on a reselling stream if they're trying to avoid reselling for the weekend. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see what the numbers say at the end of this and decide what we're going to do from there. These ones, like I said, we paid $25 for these at a Kohl's clearance event, and they did sell for $69.99. Going out, USPS SurePost, or sorry, UPS SurePost. eBay now has UPS SurePost the lowest on most items, even some really small ones. But yeah. I hate shipping it that way, but honestly, when they're $1, $2 cheaper, that's fine. They like basically dropped the SurePost down to what the ground was, and ground went up, which sucks on eBay. Now, ground is still cheaper on Amazon for some reason. Not sure what's going on there, but it is what it is. I would much rather ship ground. It just gets there faster. You don't have that handoff, which can be iffy. Next up, we sold a Funko Pop. As you guys know, with my Funko Pops, these are most generally from either a previous business. I at one point, box avalanche. I at one point bought and sold Funko Pops quite a bit, and these are just residuals that have literally been boxed up. I finally went through and just listed them all on eBay, and they started to move slowly. eBay, Amazon, whatnot, all those good ones. Not Amazon, excuse me, but eBay and whatnot are basically the two that I'm selling the most on. But we have this Hocus Pocus Billy Butcherson. This is a Spirit Halloween exclusive. And this is from a couple of years ago. Only got, I think, where did my label go? Only got $13 for him. Nothing crazy. I think these were $8 or $9 when they came out. So losing money, but I'm just ready to get it back. And some of these are from my personal collection too. I think we sold one from my personal collection as well. Recon said, I'm listing. Oh, can't avoid it. Yeah, I doubt it, dude. You've been cleaning up. Recon's been out there just mopping up stores. It's been crazy. But yeah, I don't doubt it, dude. You got a lot of listing to do. Like I said, I got all my photos and stuff done. I've got about probably 120 listings to go. But I could literally do that in a day and a half if I could just get the time to sit down and do it. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm just 90 miles an hour in 100 different directions. It's starting to stress me out. If you guys can't tell, I am stressed. But we'll deal with it. That's how it goes, right? That's how it goes. Hopefully it'll be better once we get done with this. Next up, we have some more slides. These are some Hey Dude Tiger slides. Literally the same ones we just showed you guys. But these are a size 12. And we actually got $50 for these instead of $45. So 15 into 50. I don't know why he's such a big poly for these. But these are the size 12s. Let me double check. Yes, men's size 12, 15 into 50. I'm a little worried with the Hey Dudes. They've been such a good seller for me right now. And I'm running out. And I really don't want to buy more. Even though I found a couple of good sales on them, I've been trying not to buy more until I get moved. So hopefully there's still a good sale or two that I can just have shipped to the new place right before I leave. That would be amazing. But those have been selling so well for me. So hopefully we can keep that going. Let's see. I was 3 hours away from home at one point yesterday. Yeah, I bet, dude. You were telling me about that. I won't tell what he's getting, but I think you hit what? How many stores did you hit, Recon? Was it 30? I bet you hit like 20 or 30 stores. That was just insane. Let's see. What do we got? We got a what's not order. What not better. We actually had 3 whatnot orders over the past 3 days. So whatnot is better. So they say. This is It says a Bucks 950 hat. A Bucks 950. Yes, Tampa Bay Bucks. Okay, sorry. Had a moment there. We sold this Tampa Bay Buccaneers hat, 950. Really cool. What do they call this? I can't read it. Oh, it is script. Okay, so they're considering this script logo. Really cool hat, honestly. Like I said, 59.50. Sold this one on Whatnot for $40 plus shipping. So on Whatnot, they pay the shipping, and yeah, and then you just have the fees. So $40, they paid shipping. Crazy sale, honestly, over there. But definitely, I was only selling these for like 35, maybe 40 with free shipping on eBay. And then this one sold over there really fast. So definitely a nice pickup there. We paid 13 bucks, I think, for those $12, $13 and a wholesale deal. And when I say $12, $13, guys, I'm really averaging because it just depends. It just depends. Let's see. Recon said 31 stores. That is insane, man. That is insane. And then I did it again. So you're supposed to put this invoice in there. You're also supposed to put one of these cards. We're going to open the box and stick them in there because I don't want to get in trouble. Not get in trouble, but people can complain. Yeah, but like I said, got 40 plus shipping over there. And actually what happened with Whatnot is I realized that for some reason when I did my cross listing, I wasn't paying attention. Imagine that. And the what's it called? Shipping weight was like at £1 for hats. So they're getting charged like $9 to ship a hat, which is ridiculous. It's only like $4.50. So I actually got that fixed and corrected, and we sold, and did it also fix my Funko Pops. That was the other thing that it was messed up on. And like I said, we got 4 sales, something like that over there just this week, which is awesome. I mean, I'll take any sales I can get on other platforms as long as I don't have to spend a bunch of time listing them over there. And Whatnot is the easiest platform to cross list to with Vendoo. So if you're interested in Vendoo, you can let me know. A lot of people have been switching. And I actually, this reminds me, I got a message from Greenie, I believe, right, Sarah? I apologize. I got your message. I just haven't had a chance to respond, and I seen it right before the show, and yeah, I meant to respond to you. I'll get a response over there. She was telling me that she switched over to, I think, Auto Posture, if I remember correctly. And it's probably something I should look into. But honestly, I can't complain. I haven't wanted to spend a bunch of time on cross listing. I just wanted to do it at one point because I did have a little bit of free time, and it's really it's worked well for me. Is it the best? I don't know, but for what we're doing, especially if you only have lots of 1 and 2 items, like you're not doing high quantity stuff, it works great, and it's worked really well for me. I know some people have had some issues with it not delisting, but I did at the very beginning, contacted their support, and it's worked out really well. I've not had any issues in the past 3 months, 4 months, no issues with things not getting delisted, and haven't had to cancel any orders, anything like that. So I know some people have been, and I'm not saying that there's not issues with it, but it's been good for me so far. Next up, we've got this Atlanta Falcons hat. Picked this up from, you know what? I don't even know where I got this from. Did I put it? No, I paid $11 for it. So I think this was from a local store, actually. They had it on clearance. All black. You guys know the deal. These things sell fast. And for a lot, we actually got $40 out of that one. Man, I'm forgetting every single time to put these cards in there. There we go. $40 for the all black Atlanta Falcons hat. And like I said, we did pay $11. It is football season. I think that starts next week. I'm excited. I'm going to miss the most in the beginning because I'm going to be so busy, but I am excited for football to start. And hopefully the hats just keep continuing to pick up and sell. All right. What do we got next? Anyway, what did I talk about? We talked about the promoting and stuff like that, running the sales. Again, I do think running sales help push your items, not just because it discounts the item, but I get a lot more sales when I, like, for instance, this weekend my sales boosted really fast after I launched those, and most of my sales aren't on sale. I said sales a lot in that list. Most of the sales are not part of the sale, so they're not getting that discount, but it just seems to boost it really well. So I don't know, maybe that's just me reading too much into it, but it's helped a lot. And I've been running them, even if it's just a 5-10% off sale on some older inventory that you either need to move and want to get rid of, or you might not be competitively priced. It kind of does a workaround there. But we've talked about that. We talked about kind of why I think my sales are down. And if you guys have any opinions on that, you're welcome to let me know. But I feel like we're missing one of the other things we wanted to do with that. Oh, I do have a question for you guys, and this is literally, I don't know the answer to this. With promoted sales, everybody says, okay, it puts you higher in the rankings. Let's see, we got a Browns hat going out next. It puts you, obviously, you promote, it gets you higher in the search results. But do promoted listings do anything for you if people are sorting by price or putting in a sorting category or factor? What's the word I'm looking for there? Filter. There we go. Does it actually help you there? So obviously, I'm not really a browse shopper. I do hats every now and then, but most of the time I'm looking for a particular item. So I automatically either price the lowest, price the highest, price the nearest, or not price, but closest to me, whatever I'm going to search for. That's how I do it. I'm mostly looking for an item. Do promoted listings help with that? Because I don't see how they could. I don't see how they would. Recon just said no. I don't see how it would make any difference other than the just generic search. Like if somebody just searches for the first time and doesn't put any filters, doesn't apply. Now granted, I'm sure if you put extra large, it only shows the extra large, you're still going to be promoted higher in the extra large category. But if somebody's sorting by price, I don't see how it could make a difference. And that's why I wonder sometimes on promoting listings, if say for instance you promote clothing, that's why everybody says when you promote clothing, or if you sell clothing, especially used clothing, that you need to promote your listings because it helps get you further into that thing. So Recon just posted, I only promote with high competition, which is what I've always done. Well, honestly, I very rarely promote ever. But when I do, it was because I had, there's competition on it. But I'm starting to wonder, for instance, hats obviously would kind of make sense to me to promote, even though it's unique and you may not have a competition for that particular listing. I think a lot of people do shop just straight up search and just look through all the listings. They're not sorting by lowest. They're not doing whatever. They're just looking. And that's why I feel like when a lot of people say, oh, you have to promote to get sales in, used clothing and stuff, I could see that being the case because most people aren't just looking for that particular shirt that you're wearing. This shirt, they're going to be looking for that exact shirt. They're just going to be scrolling through all grunt style. So to promote those listings would put you further and possibly in front of the buyer. What I'm wondering is if you're even for a high competition item, for instance, I can't grab one easily. Just say for instance this Nest. Say this was a Nest thermostat. I have some over here. Most people that are going to search for this know what they want. So this is a Nest temperature sensor. They're going to search for that and they're going to sort lowest to highest. To me, promoting this listing will do me nothing because I don't know of anybody that's going to be just browsing looking for where to buy this. To promote this, yes, you will probably have a lot of competition. There's probably 200 of these listings right now, but nobody just browses that to shop. And so as soon as they hit that sort low to high, your promotion does nothing except for being in that sponsored slot, maybe at the top. Other than that, it doesn't do anything. What's your guys' opinion on that? It's something I just thought of and kind of started to really think about. Yes, I've always been that one, oh, it's got a lot of competition. I should promote this item because I'm going up against 200 listings. But nobody shops this unless they sort low to high or sort free shipping, whatever. It's not going to do me any good. I'm then wasting that promoted listing because they're still going to view it. And I guarantee if your listing is promoted, doesn't matter if it got bumped up in the search results or not. Somebody clicks on it, eBay's taking their cut. So just something to consider. Again, that's just my opinion and my thought. I don't know if anybody wants to share theirs. That would be great. But I think some people have to really think about it and look at the item that you're selling. How are people going to search for this item? Is promoting the item actually going to help, or is it just a waste of money? I disagree. I'll promote something like that because people are lazy. I could see that, I guess. But how lazy? Like, are they just going to buy the first 3 that pop up in a search result? Like, if they're lazy, then yeah, I could see them just literally search it, buy it. But I don't feel like people shop eBay like that. That's just me. I don't feel like people go to eBay to buy whatever they want. If they wanted to just buy whatever price, I feel like they go to Amazon. That's just, again, that's how it is. I don't know, because there's so many. Yeah, because there's so many items of the same item. No, I get that. I don't. We'll have to talk about it. um, Again, I feel like they're just going to sort. If they don't, then they're only going to go through the first, 3 or 4 items, and your chances of your promoted item being in the 3 or 4 is ridiculous unless you're just going to pay a bunch. They'll just scroll the first few and see the cheapest out of there. Okay, I could see that. But again, how many people, if they're just wanting to do that, wouldn't just go through? Sounds like a big voice chat discussion. I know, that's what I was thinking. It'd be a lot easier over there. It's harder with the chat. Maybe we'll dig into this. Maybe we'll talk to some people and then come back with it. If you guys have opinions on this, because this is probably going to be maybe a little bit, not controversial, but people might have different opinions on, let me know in the chat or in the comment box. We'll touch on this because I do want to talk with Recon's a good buddy of mine, and we do some voice chats in our Discord group, Bread and Butter. Also Adam and all them over there. It'd be something good to pick up in a discussion over there. Because yeah, again, that's just my opinion. Obviously, I don't have any proof to back this up, but it's something I've been thinking about when I was thinking about promoting if it was really worth it. Because I did see that I had my hat still promoted. I took them off promotions because again, I didn't see an increase enough to warrant giving eBay an extra 3% of my money that I had sold. So, but it is an interesting idea for sure, and maybe something we'll talk about in the future. I would love to get some opinions though. I'd love to hear what you guys think and get a general consensus. Just realized these Converse here, they're brand new. They just have a couple of dirt scuffs. Actually, I think it's just from the box. They're not even dirt. It's like brown marks. You can kind of see, maybe you can see, I don't know, right here on the sole. It looks, yeah, just literally wiped right off. Didn't realize that when I listed them, but that's all right. They're still brand new. The soles are clean. These are some Converse that we picked up from Kohl's clearance event. We actually only paid $15 for these guys. Ow. Got that under my nail. $15 for these, crazy cheap, and we're selling them. What are we selling them for right now? $57. So 15 into 57 on the orange or peach color Converse. These are women's 8.5, so a decent size for sure. Let's see. Recon said I also promote things that I have too. Did you say too many of? I have 2 of. Sorry, my thing covers the. For some reason, the React button covers the chat sometimes. I'll have to reread that one. But yeah, interesting topic. Obviously, everybody has a different opinion on promotion. I've literally heard podcasts go on and say you have to promote to be able to do this to make sales. And then, a ton of, okay, yeah, like a quantity of 20. Yeah, I've done that for sure in the past, just to try to give it a little bit more. For sure. Especially stomp pads. Always promoting those things. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh no, I've heard people talk about promoting, saying you have to promote listings to get it. And then I've also heard people that you don't have to promote at all to get sales, and I'm kind of always lean that way. Never have really promoted anything except for either stuff I had a lot of or a lot of competition in I had a lot of. When I was selling Lightning McQueens, I would do those. Just a lot of stuff like that I've had differences and changed up. But otherwise, I've never really just been a keen promoted listing thing. Because again, I feel like it just takes I don't like the idea of it. I don't mind paying more fees. Don't get me wrong. I really don't if it's going to help it sell faster. But there's no proof. There's no any way of actually showing you that what they did is actually better. And that's where I guess I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't like it. Delco dog deals. Delco dog deals. Yeah, with my stomp pads. Next up, we have this Houston Astros duck camo size 7 3/8. These are some of the ugliest hats. Bought these. I've had them forever. They have not sold. And it turns out I think the listing was just dead. Because I actually sold some of these. I had so many of them. I sold a few of them off to a buddy of mine in the Discord group. And he's been selling the daylights out of them at the same price I have them listed for. So shout out to Joey. He's been making sales on my inventory, so glad they're selling for him. And I didn't just dump off inventory that wasn't selling for me. I actually sold it to him below, I think, what I paid for them originally. So I was just trying to get my money back out of him a little bit and let somebody else hold on to him, and it worked out for him. So I'm super happy about that. But we did sell one, and it's going out to Gary in Cypress, Texas. Oh, good old eBay and all their stuff. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't like Amazon selling because obviously you have to deal with returns, scammers, stuff like that. But at the same time, I really like Amazon selling because it's straight up. If it wasn't all the restrictions and the way they're trying to run people out, yes, you have to deal with tankers. Yes, you have to do that. You have to be smarter with your buys. But you know, if you've got the cheapest price and it's a decent price, they're probably going to give you buy box. And even if they don't give you buy box, you still are going to get sales. People just shop that way over there. And so for me, I go back and forth. One week I hate it because I'm dealing with returns and stuff like that. Other weeks I love it because I can just get sales. I don't have to worry about eBay pushing it. It's so much more consistent for me. If I have good selling items over there on there, I'm going to make decent sales that week. And eBay is just not that way. I feel like eBay is so up and down. And it can be consistent. I'm not saying it isn't. Like, I mean, again, I know a lot of my issues are what I'm selling and where my store is at. And I know I have to correct that and get that fixed. But my Amazon sales are great and I'm selling the same things. You know, so it's still rough, still kind of annoying. We've got some Wally camo. And they're not even camo. Camel. Misread that. So Wally's here. Speaking of, this is from the Marshall's Yellow Tag event just recently. This crazy, guys. Those discontinued models, I'm telling you. These ones here we picked up for $22 plus tax, and they sold for $80. Double check, right? No, 90. Excuse me, $89.99. Got $90 out of those things. Crazy price. Crazy price. Even if they come back, that's all right. I cannot complain with that price. Yeah, I'd buy those all day long if I could. Sorry, I got to log into my iPad here and make sure I got this going to the right place. Double check my labels here. Yes, it is. Going to an excavating company in Montana. No, Missouri. Sorry, Missouri. But yeah. Definitely a crazy good buy there. Unfortunately, I only found one pair of those, but definitely worth the pickup for sure. All right, next up we got going out. Ooh, I like this sale. I bought a bunch of these and they are finally selling on Amazon. Picked these up for $8. Crazy, crazy steal for this F1. Who is this? I can't remember which one. Is this the BTW Alpine team? Really neat hat, exclusive Mexico style, I think is what it was called, from the Mexico race. Sold it for $52. So paid $8, sold it for $52 over on Amazon. This was a steal, and I have about 20 of them, honestly. I kept finding them in a few different stores, and then my supplier actually got some. So super good buy there. And hopefully they keep selling. I think F1 races are still going on right now. I don't know what the season is per se on that, but definitely a good pickup there. All right. What else are we going to talk about? I have a whole bunch of little things. One of those things is actually, and I don't remember if this was the item or not, but something I've been trying to, I had to go through and edit my Amazon shipping policy. To be honest, I had never edited it, and I still had it showing that I was shipping everything priority mail. Luckily, I didn't have any issues. But I switched it back to just free economy shipping instead of free standard shipping. And then I put a $3.99 charge on standard shipping. And guys, if you aren't doing this, if you sell on Amazon, do it now. Even do it on eBay. I would do it on eBay. I think I do have a few options for this, but it definitely works on Amazon. If you charge, you give you free economy shipping, and you charge $3.99 for standard shipping, most of the time you can still ship your standard shipping items the same way, USPS Ground Advantage, whatever it is, and it's going to get there in time. There are a few exceptions, like if it's going across the country as far as it can, or Hawaii or Alaska or something like that, then it won't. But most of the time, those shipping options are still there, and it's still going to arrive in the same time, and you literally make $4 more on your item for that shipping. They pay the extra to get it there. The free economy shipping shows what, 5 to 7 or 7 to 10 business days is what it shows your delivery date out. So when people see that, they're worried. They don't know that you're going to ship it out right away, so they're worried that it's going to take a lot longer. If you do that, offer the free economy, whatever it is, but then go through and actually charge $4 for it, you can make that $4. If it's going anywhere close, you're going to be able to ship it the same way you were. You make an extra $4. And if it's going across country and you do have to ship it priority mail, that $4 is going to cover it unless it's a large item. So definitely recommend it. I get probably, I'd say on average, 1 to 2 sales a day. And actually, it's this next sale that did it. 1 to 2 sales a day that people will pay the extra couple of bucks, $3, $4, whatever I charge for the standard shipping, and I can ship it the exact same way. And you just make a couple extra bucks just because they want to make sure it gets there. Works really well on Amazon, again, because you're not you are competing in price, but it's not quite as bad as Amazon, as eBay. People aren't as thrifty, I guess you could say, and they want it fast. So definitely recommend it if you're not doing it already. Next up, we've got this Grateful Dead hat. We picked this up in the hat sale, $5 and $10 hat sale that gets called out in Bread and Butter. That's a great hat sale that comes up, and we call it out every single year. So if you're interested in that, hit me up and get you started on Bread and Butter. But yeah, crazy deal on these. We actually, I think, only ended up paying $8 for these. They were clearanced out a little bit differently, and we're selling them for $30. So we've got $30 for this one over on eBay, or on Amazon. And then we made an extra $4 on it because they paid for the premier or the standard shipping. And we're still shipping it USPS Ground Advantage. It's still going to get there right on time. And we just made an extra $4 on the item. I will take $4 every time. Every time you go to hand it to me, I'm not gonna turn it down for sure. All right, let's grab the next one. This next one is a very old deal, but a crazy deal that we had cooked forever, and then I ran out, found a bunch hiding, and then they never want to sell again. So what this next item is, we actually got these in the bin store. These are a Pit Boss drip liner, I believe, is what this is called. Let's pull it up here. Here they are. So yeah, they are just, forget what they call them here. Foil bucket liners. So basically for the Pit Boss grills, you slide this in the bucket and then it keeps it from getting all the droppings and stuff all over. We were paying $1 for each of these little, I don't know what you call this. Is there 6 of them in here? 5, 6 of them in here, something like that. 2, 4, yeah, 6. So we're paying $1 for 6 of these on every single bin store. At my bin store, every single load they were getting in, they were getting hundreds of these. And we picked up probably 500 to 700 of them. Paul Beagle, hey, what's going on? Have you ever showed your storage and how your inventory items? I have, actually. If you check, I think it's in my description. If it's not, I'll have to put a link. There is a link to Millennial Prophet's YouTube channel. He actually has a series that he does called his Cribs Tours. And one of my storage system and everything like that is over there. Now, it's changed a lot, I'll be honest. We've got some updates to it, and we will be doing a new one of those once we get set up in the new place. That'll be a few months down the road. But if you want to check it out, that video, I believe, is in the description. I believe it's called the MPTV Cribs tour, and it shows my particular house. If it's not in there, shoot me a message. I'll send you over the link. But you can definitely check that out. He did a great job on editing the video and stuff, and it actually goes through how I have everything set up. So it's pretty cool. But with that being said, we are going to be shooting a new one of those because things are going to change in the new place for sure. Hopefully in the next couple months, or next couple of months, we'll get one of those up. But yeah, back to the liners we got here. Like I said, we bought hundreds of the liners, and when I say hundreds, you know, there's 6 in each one, and we were selling for about $15 to $20 a pop. It was costing us, we were getting them under £1. We made a lot of money off of these, and like I said, they were in the bins almost every single time. Wow, this box is huge. Oh well, I already wrote it down. But anyway, we were getting a lot of them, and like I said, we sold out of them. We were selling them every single day. Excuse the noise. And making really good money on them. Unfortunately, I ran out, obviously, and then I found these ones like 6 months later after I'd already sold out. put them back up and couldn't sell them forever. This has literally been almost 2 years ago. Sorry, I think that noise is really loud. Let's finish this before we continue talking here. There we go. But yeah, they couldn't sell them for anything, and for some reason they randomly sold. We got $20 for all 3 of those. That normally I was selling them one individual pack, but 3 into $20 is not bad. And actually, I think it only cost like $7 to ship because it went pretty close. Yeah, went up to Boise, Idaho. But yeah, that was another one of those crazy bin store finds that we had. Definitely not your usual item to make money on, but we made so much money off that, and we would buy them on $1 a day. I actually probably ended up getting a deal on some of them from the owner at the time and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool, and definitely wish I had some more deals like that. Unfortunately, that bin store closed. Let's see. Paul said, "Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, we are going back to 95% eBay for the last 13 years. Was 75% Amazon FBA and was doing around 2.5 million per year. Wow, but just pulled most of our Amazon stuff. That's crazy. I'm guessing 2.5 mil was your gross over there. That's still a good profit though, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, I feel for you. I feel for you on your FBA thing. They pretty much run most of you guys out, and I understand you. I don't want to be one of those people. I understand why they did it, and I understand what they're doing, but I hate to see what it had to, what it's done to others. So shout out to you guys. I know the conversion is going to be rough. Trying to get used to storing inventory and all that. But once you get it in place, it's not bad. And you just have to keep going with it. If you don't mind me asking, what type of stuff do you sell? I'd love to know. As far as, are you doing consumables? Are you doing, or HBA? What type of stuff are you selling? That'll determine kind of what you're going to probably obviously have to do for storage. But yeah, that's crazy. That's like I said, I know a lot of people that have done Amazon FBA for a long time, and they've had to kind of switch it up. So hopefully that transition goes smooth for you. You can still do numbers on eBay. There is no reason you can't. It is just a different animal, and trying to get used to it coming from one to the other is going to be probably a little bit different for sure. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, I talked about of course, the shipping, the charging the extra shipping or whatever. So if you guys are interested in that, I can do another video too, maybe even show you guys how to do that. It's pretty straightforward though. Somebody sent me, and I can't remember if it was Sarah or who, sent me a thing about doing a video, doing a screen capture, and I can't remember what it was now. I'll have to look into it. So we've got some ideas for videos. I definitely appreciate it. Keep sending them, because I would love to have some more stuff that you guys want to see. But as we do that, just know it will be a little bit before I can get those implemented in place. Paul said, yes, it was gross. I got a large warehouse. That's awesome. I wish I had a large warehouse. So just to give you guys an update, I know we've talked about the move a ton, and I don't really give details on it because we don't have details yet. We're still very, I don't know how you put it, very up in the air. Things are just, some things work out, some things don't. We're day late, dollar short on a bunch of different places that we've been trying to get into. But it does look like it is going to be the house warehouse, kind of like we have now, just a lot larger is what we're going to have to do. So we are going to be going into a rental place for the first year at least, just because of financial stuff. With me going full time, I don't have a income base long enough yet to where people will lend me money for a home yet. My wife is changing career fields, obviously getting out of the military. So home loan is just not an option at this point. It will be next year. But this year just isn't, because of the way our incomes show and how crazy it is. And we can dig into that on another episode, I'm sure. But we are going to be, at this point, going into one larger house and running it out of there. The ideal thing would be to have a rental house and then a rental location for me to just store my stuff. It's just not an option right now, unfortunately. So there's just nothing available. And honestly, rent is so high that we can, I can pay an extra $500 out of the business basically and get a really nice, really big house that we can still run it and operate it like we are now, but get more space in it, clear out, and be able to continue to grow the business. Or I can spend, $1,500 from the business trying to rent a secondary location. And at this point, if it's only going to be for a year anyways, it's just not worth it. And I think we're going to try to scale it in the home versus doing a second location. Second location would be perfect, but we're going to make it happen with what we got. Paul said, well, I own a sports card shop also, so I do a ton of sports items, but Amazon was about 30% grocery bundles, then clothing and shoes. Have her use the VA home loan. Did that about 11 years ago. It was easy. Yeah, so we are going to be using the VA. The problem with it is, again, it's the whole qualifying thing. What happened is last year, I've literally invested everything in the business back into the business at this point. So I really didn't make anything last year. I actually overspent last year, and it rolled into this year. The way payouts go on eBay and stuff like that. So I literally, or on Amazon. So I literally did like 20,000, something like that, on like the last couple of weeks of fourth quarter, and it didn't come in. Long story short, I didn't make any money last year. So this year I can make money, I can make money on my income, but it's going to be averaged out. It's going to be real low because it's going to be combining the 2 years. And then obviously with her, the VA loan's great, but you still have to have income and so on. And with us doing the transition right then, and her going into a different field, then it just isn't, they don't allow it. Well, I'm sure we can work it out eventually, but it won't be the amount that we would need to do to make something happen. So we're going to go the rental route for the first year. We're in a rental obviously now, just with her being in the military. It didn't make sense to buy at the time. So we are going that way, and we're just going to have to roll with it for a year or so, and then hopefully get everything set up. Recon said, hey, I'm in a single bedroom apartment right now. I know you are. I need a bigger spot already. I don't know how you're doing it in there. You sent some photos the other day. That was crazy. But yeah, well, that's where we're at. And like I said, I'm sure there's, lots of other ways to do it, but it's just going to make it the simplest for us. That way we can get set up, get really settled, I guess you could say, on what we're going to be doing and all that. And then hopefully have her job lined up and mine and all that, and then know exactly where we're going to end up. So lots of variables. But with that being said, we are looking at a home right now, trying to get into like one that has a 3-car garage, which is going to be ideal for me. That will allow me to literally get all my inventory out of the house and into the garage, except for maybe stuff that, is just super susceptible to heat. That's the only thing that we wouldn't do, move out there. So, but other than that, everything else as far as, hats and stuff like that, it's still going to be fairly cool. I mean, we get obviously hot through the summer, but it's, it can, it's not going to be over 100 degrees in there. And we're going to rock that for now and just see how everything else plays out. But like I said, that'll free up. Obviously, we'll be able to do that. I'll just have the office and shipping thing in the house, but then hopefully all my other inventory we can get out into the garage, and then we'll have maybe one bedroom that we'll have to use for inventory like we do now. So just if you guys wanted to know, that's what we are up to. That's what we've been working on, and we're just trying to close on a play or get a place lined up here in the next month or so. Paul, you said you were doing, sorry, I read your comment and then I skipped right over it. Ton of sports items, and then you said Amazon was grocery bundles and then clothing and shoes. Make sure she goes to the VA, get her paid. I waited like 8 years before I was the guy, because I was the guy who never was never hurt. Then when I got 90%, when I went, I got 90%, so free 30 a month. Yeah, people have been talking about that. All that stuff at the VA, that's crazy. I definitely gotta get all that figured out for sure. It will be in the garage until you overbuy. Well, yeah, of course. That's how it goes. But no, at that point, I may just do a storage unit. If it really goes that big, then I'll just go storage unit. I'm tired of it being in the house. I mean, I don't mind it as long as it's not everywhere in the house. If it's literally down to the one room or whatever, then that's fine. I didn't really show these. I apologize, guys. I got sidetracked. Thank you all for your comments. I appreciate it. These are those leopard print Nike low, or not low courts. What are they called? Nike Vision Lows. These were a Kohl's clearance event item that we picked up for $25 and sold them for $67. I've actually had these for a minute and they've not been selling, so happy to see that one move. Happy to see that one move for sure. And that's one of those things. It did go on sale. I think we put it on like a 10% off sale, so that is why it sold. Red salute to service. All right. But yeah, that's the other thing too we're going through right now. Obviously, some changes going back to civilian life is going to be interesting for her. Of course, I've been doing this for how long now, so it's not really a change there. But one of the things that's going to be interesting, we are moving back to family and stuff like that. We are really on our own out here, and I don't say that in a bad way. We just, we don't have family. We don't really have very many friends in this area that we're close to. We're close with our family and friends back home. So we're excited to get back there, but with doing that, that means we're going to have a lot more activities going on, a lot less dead time, and just not having to deal with, events and stuff like that. We're 8 hours away as it is. So that's going to be an adjustment for both of us, just getting used to that, not having as much. I can do stuff whenever I want to with my business. But if we got events going on, birthday parties, our church services, stuff like that, anything that's going on like that, that's going to, I don't want to say this in a bad way, that's going to cut into our time as far as for the business. And so we're going to have some adjusting to do with that, especially me. I'm really going to have to buckle down and get into a routine and stuff like that, because it's going to be hard at first. It's going to be really hard. You're going to want to go do stuff with everybody all the time, and you have to remember you still have to work. That's one of the nice things when I worked here. I didn't have that. I don't have anything else to do, so I can put all my time into my business. I don't have as many distractions, but there's going to be a lot more distractions there. We got this Cincinnati Reds Salute to Service hat. These are really, really cool hats. I really like this style. Back from 2022, I believe. Sold this one for $55, paid $13 for it from a bulk buy a while ago. I've had that hat for like 2 years, and I have a few more different sizes of that particular one, but definitely taking a while to sell. Forgot to put the card in the hat. I'm doing terrible with this, guys. I don't know how many times I've forgotten this so far. This is my whole thing where I want to promote my business and I can't get the cards out. Paul, you mentioned you have a sports card shop or something like that. Do you still have that? I think you said you still do, right? Well, let me read your comment. Well, I own a sports card shop also, so I do a ton of sports items. So, following back to that comment, I apologize. I'm trying to get something I've been trying to say forever, and I keep getting distracted. Yeah, definitely check out my inventory. I'll be honest with you, has changed a lot. It used to be a lot of random stuff from bin stores, which is great for tote system. So I used a tote system, and then I had a lot of those shoes. So that's kind of what my highlights are. I've honestly moved, and now what I do is a lot different. Basically hats and shoes are kind of my two combos, and most of my shoes are brand new in box. I don't do a lot of clothing, but you definitely use that tote system. I'm sure you have ideas. I mean, obviously, if you have a shop of your own, you've gotten some organization skills there, and trying to keep it straight. But I am sure having all that inventory come back has been a crazy experience. I don't know if I could handle that. Oh man. Next up, we've got a bunch of stuff, guys. I'm going to have to start moving through some orders here. I apologize. We've been on here for an hour, and we're not even maybe halfway through. So we're just going to keep moving through this. Feel free. Let me know, guys, if you guys got comments or anything. We'll keep talking about some topics here, but we're definitely going to keep moving through because we got a lot to do. Let's see. What did I say? Oh, yeah, we already talked about Whatnot and how that's been going. We've got some classic camo Hey Dudes. Let's see, the classic camo, not the tiger. So classic camo Hey Dude slides. Again, sold these for 45 or 50. Sold these for 50. Size 11. Paid 15 for these on a bread and butter call out. To be fair, that wasn't actually a bread and butter call out. That was a bread and butter sale and then call out, and then I found the item. We didn't actually do that. You guys hear me talk about that all the time, and I actually just talked with Adam. Gonna see if we can get a little spotlight to kind of talk about that just a little bit without me. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. Paul said, yes, I have it. I just don't run it like I should. The last 8 months were crazy. During COVID, cards were the best thing. It's not a huge store. Small Indiana town. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's understandable. I actually lived in Indiana for 3 years, and know a lot of people in Indiana. So that's cool. Yeah, I would love to have a small business like that, or like a small not pop-up, what do you call it, like a small locations, especially with doing the hats. I've actually got a guy, and I need to give him a call. Keep forgetting to give him a call, who opened up a logo hat store doing what I was doing to begin with, and now he actually has a physical location and doing some in-stores, or not in-store, but event pop-ups and stuff like that. And I've always thought that would be a lot of fun. I would enjoy it a lot. But it's just I'm sure it's a lot of overhead, a lot of maintenance, and a lot of your time for sure, especially if you're running it yourself and not having somebody employ, or decent employees or people that you can have run it for you. That would be crazy. All right, shampoo. You just see me throw it in here without telling you what it was. This is that what's it called? VO5 dandruff shampoo, and it was actually, I'm down to my last 2 boxes. This is one that we bought half a pallet full of it, down to my last 2 boxes, and we're actually getting $25 for those. So $1 into 25 for those 2 bottles. What town did you live in? I lived in Ingalls, which is just to the, oops, that's not the right one, just to the west of, or excuse me, just to the east of Indianapolis. And then I also lived in Westfield, which is north. So around the Indianapolis area. But I've got family that live down in the Bedford, Shoals, Lagodi area, stuff like that. I've got lots of family in Indiana, actually. And then, yeah, I've been all over up there. But yeah, I lived there out in the outskirts of Indianapolis for about 3 years myself. Next up, we've got these tie-dye Crocs. I think we talked about these last week. These are just some, as a bread and butter call out, but I bought way too many. They were all size 13 in this tie-dye. Paid like $11 for them, which is a decent price, but I've literally had them for over 2 years now, and we are getting $25. I'm breaking even just to get my money back and not have to move them. That's the whole reason we're selling them that low. To be fair, they've been priced at $25 for a long time. They just started selling, so I didn't just tank the price. So it's finally come up to $25, and I'm just getting rid of them now. We sold 2 pair this weekend though, so I probably could raise the price, but I don't want them anymore. I want them out. I don't want to move them. They're a terribly slow seller, and no profits at this point because they got tanked so bad. These are going out. Oh man, I did it again. I almost grabbed the wrong label. Going out 11 into 25. Oh, Westfield. Yeah. Weekly for baseball. It's about 80 minutes from my house. Yeah, Westfield. Yep. They've got that sports area there is crazy. That wasn't there when I lived there. And then they started building it when I was. But that sports complex is insane down there now. Yeah, small world. Yeah, I loved it, honestly. Well, I guess I loved living there, but I don't know. It's not that I wouldn't go back. I enjoyed it while I was there, and Westfield's an awesome place to stay. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of in the camera weird here, giving you a nice side profile. Yeah, but as far as for areas, Westfield was awesome to live in. I really enjoyed it over there when we lived there. All right, next up, we've got the Nike Sports Bra. We picked this up from a close clearance event. I've had this listed for a while over on Amazon. Again, I don't normally do a ton of clothing over there except for in well-known brands such as Nike and stuff like that. Most people know their sizes, so you don't have to worry too much about returns. Not always the case, but that's why we list these over there. And we paid, what did we pay for these? I don't even know. I think we paid $8 for it and sold it for $29. I have had this since probably a year, and just now selling. So the prices I priced mine when I got them at market, and they've just tanked, and then they finally are starting to come back up. So got $25 out of it. Just happy to get it out of here and get some of this money recouped to put into some stuff that we know is going to sell better. Grand Park is huge. It is, and the thing is, it's been 5 years since I've been back, and when I was back 5 years ago, they were still expanding it. Like, that was all the hotels and stuff going in there. That stuff wasn't there. That is a huge complex. But yeah, really cool for sure. All right, so we got that one. Let me grab the label for that before I forget and get it mixed up and get it in here. There we go. All right. So I thought of an illustration to kind of compare what's going on with like Mercari and some of these other sites that are switching to no fees. And this is kind of off topic, but this is something that I've been just really thinking about and trying to figure out like how it would affect people. And obviously this is on a huge scale, okay? But one of the examples is the fact of you go on Whatnot, or not Whatnot, excuse me, on Mercari, and I think it does now, but it used to just show you the price without the fees and shipping and all that stuff. It just showed you the price. So $25 for a hat or whatever it was. And then you click on it, add it to cart, and by the time you got to checkout, it was like $10, $15 more on the item, and you're paying, you know, double for the item. I've always wondered how that would affect customers, because personally I hate it. I hate getting to the checkout and it costing way more, whether it's extra shipping, whether it's this, whether it's that, whatever the cause is. I don't want it to be that way. Post Malone cup. If you guys are in bread and butter, you guys know all about this, but this was a crazy deal. Basically, you could go and pay $1 to get the collectible cup from Raising Cane's, and it's Post Malone. They had like 4 or 5 different ones, and then you pay an extra $1, so it costs like $13 for the combo. And then you could sell the cups. And we sold this one for $15 on Whatnot, so they paid the shipping on it. So we got 15 minus fees and literally have $1 into it. So basically it was paying for your lunch. You got free lunch with selling that. I was way late. I was supposed to list these a long time ago and I never got them listed. And so I just now did, or not just now, but they've been up for a few months, but I recently got them. So the kind of the craze and everything was over for them. But hey, it did sell and we got 15 bucks. So paid for our lunch, kind of like the popcorn buckets you can do at like the movie theater. Let's see, I'm just trying to find a couple of these bubbles that aren't too big. What was I saying? Oh, but the fees. So obviously I really hated that, and that was always kind of a pet peeve of mine. It dawned on me as I'm spending countless hours dealing with dealerships and trying to find a truck and all this stuff like we've been doing, and it finally dawned on me that that's exactly what dealerships do. You go on a dealership's website and you see a vehicle for whatever price, and they literally charge you. By the time you get done, you pay tax, title, license, doc fees. You pay for warranties if you just choose to, which is a little bit different. Obviously, you have to choose whether or not to. But like the tax, title, docs, all these like add-ons that they're making you buy these days, like that are just, oh, it's already installed on the truck, so you have to pay for it. This type of crap. That's exactly what the buyer, in my opinion, obviously not to this extent, but the buyer is going to feel on Mercari if they're not showing those fees right up front. And I feel like that, for me, it's a huge disappointment, because I mean, I know it's going to be that way, but still, you never know what those fees are going to be, and it's not like a set amount. You can't just, oh yeah, okay, add $3,000 for all that information or whatever. It's never that easy. And so I'm curious to see what these websites, for instance, Mercari and Depop now is doing the same thing, what they've seen in their customer experience of how many people don't like it and how many people complain about it and stuff like that. Because that's exactly the same thing. When you go in to buy that car or whatever, you got all these fees that they're going to tack on top, and then you got to try to jew the price down and offer and get the price lower to make up for that, instead of just putting a flat price out there. Include the fees, you figure out the fees, you're the seller, do all that type of stuff. Yeah, it would be a lot easier. And I think it's about time. I mean, CarMax is out there, but a lot of these dealerships are, I feel like if you just did that, you could get so many more sales. Hey, what's up, Adam? Thanks for joining. Millennial Prophet right there. Paul, if you click on his username right there, that video to my cribs tour is on his channel, so you can definitely check that out. It should be fairly up there. It's a pretty big hit for him, so definitely check that out. But yeah, that's what I've been dealing with, and so I feel like it's almost to that point where it would be that way with Mercari, some of these sales, as far as buying and getting all those fees tacked on at the end, and then just being like, you know what, I'm not doing this, I'm not paying for it, and walking out, which is I've done like 2 or 3 times now. By the time they give me an answer back, and my $40,000 truck is all of a sudden 55, just kind of gets rid of all the intention of wanting to buy it. You just don't want to buy it anymore at that point. But I would be curious to see what they feel like. Now, granted, I don't mind not having fees. I don't mind selling something on Mercari. It hits different, as Adam says, because you don't have to worry about paying those fees. But from a customer standpoint, it gets frustrating to me to have to deal with that. So I've just been dealing with it on a bigger scale. Like I said, I went in to buy a truck. This has been a while ago, but went in to buy a truck, had a $46,000 price tag on it. And literally the price that they quoted me out the door was like 55 or something. Like they added $9,000 to it. It was insane. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not messing with this. Definitely not. Next up, we have another Whatnot sale, and I didn't even show you guys. There's a Funko Pop. This one is from my collection. I had the whole Wonder Woman series, the movie, the like series from the movie or whatever. Had that whole series, and decided to sell it. Just needed a room, and I'm tired of having too many collections, so sold that one, and that was Aris from that series going out on Whatnot. Like I said, that's the third Whatnot sale we've shipped out today, so crazy stuff. Next up, what do we have? We have, whew, can't even read my writing. Holy crap. Oh, okay. There we go. This is a men's size 9 shoe. So it's going to be these ones here. These are some Air Maxes. I don't know what I was trying to write on the bottom of that. Oh, shoot. You know it's bad when you can't read your own handwriting. But these are the ones that sold. These are some Air Maxes. Oh, authentication, going to authentication. We'll talk about that in just a second. Paid $25 for these and sold them for $81 on eBay. This was an interesting one, and I've not had it happen yet, but I was talking to Adam, and they've had some over there, or he's had some over there. And then basically what it is evidently, however I listed this, it didn't show up for authentication. And now they've gotten that fixed where, like, if you list in a different category and it doesn't show or whatever, they've gotten that fixed to where it still goes to authentication. So it threw me off when I got the order because it said it was going to authentication, but they didn't supply me with a label. And I was like, what are they doing, cheating me here? But what it is it sells like it regularly does, but instead of shipping it to the customer directly, you are shipping it to the authentication center, even though it wasn't the free authentication label. So since this one sold for $81, it is over the $75 limit, and it is being sent to the authentication center, which is a bit of a bummer on some of these because obviously this box isn't bad. There's not really any damage. It's actually pretty good. But I shouldn't be shipping this in a poly mailer. And the problem that I'm having is I think I printed it as if I was, and I did, and that's what I noticed afterwards. So I might need to print a new label. Actually, let's just weigh it real quick and see how close. I normally round up, so maybe if this one wasn't close to the weight, I can do it. But I do need to ship this in a box because obviously if I ship it in a poly, the box is probably going to take some damage, and it's not going to pass authentication then. And it's going to come back to me, which I do not want. I got a little bit of room. All right, we're going to try to ship it in a box just to make sure. Oh, that's a big box. Oh, no, that's going to be it. Okay. Yeah, so that's annoying because obviously now that's going to cost me. I'm probably going to have to reprint this label, to be honest. It's probably going to cost me an extra, $3-4 that I wasn't planning on, which is fine. I have plenty of profit margin in this particular pair, but that is not cool. That means, I really need to go through and double check. Now, I don't try to avoid authentication except for charging extra shipping. So I do the, 85 plus the extra to ship or whatever. Or the 75 plus the extra, whatever extra in shipping, which I don't know if they consider that a workaround or not. But I don't try to list in a certain category to not get it to authenticate or anything like that. I just list it in the best category that matches and go with it. But those ones that did for some reason just list without needing to be authenticated, and now I have to go back through and make sure I'm not getting screwed on those. So definitely going to have to double check this one and probably get a new label. I'm going to label it and set it to the side, and we'll check after the stream. All right. Next up, what do we got going out next? We sold a Kyler Murray jersey. This is actually a youth size. But Kyler Murray, this is the black color edition. Everybody, if you're a Cardinals fan, you probably like the black alt jerseys better. I know I do myself. I have a couple of them. But yeah, sold this one. I don't remember where I got this. I think it was a Marshall's. Paid $19 for it. I probably would never buy another youth jersey at that high of a price, but sold it for $50. Took an offer on it. for $50 just to get it out of here. Again, trying to get out of some of this clothing and stuff. I might still, carry it when I find a really, really good deal, but definitely trying to get my money back out of some of the stuff that I've invested a lot more into. Again, $20 for a youth jersey, probably not my smartest buy, if we're being serious here. All right. Next up, I feel like I talked about everything I was going to talk about, and now I'm here. Negative feedback streak. I got another one of those, so that was really cool. I've been getting negatives like crazy, and honestly, like, I'm not saying I don't do things wrong, but the negatives I've been getting have just been from people not paying attention, literally buying items and then asking for a return, not accepting the return, or asking them to pay the restocking fee, which, again, I don't accept returns, but then I'll even let them know, hey, if you do want to return it, you can, pay the restocking fee to cover the shipping, and then we'll do it that way. And I've gotten like 2 or 3 negatives in the past couple of months just off of that, and it's really annoying. Of course, eBay won't do anything about it, just part of the game. I wouldn't care as much, except for my rating is like a 98% now. And I really don't want it to drop anymore. We'll see how it goes. It tends to be the case. Recon, I only buy clothing if it's super cheap now, and I can list it super cheap. Yeah. I just don't like listing it. That's my thing. I don't mind holding it. I'm doing really good, guys. I keep packaging stuff and not telling you what it is. But yeah, I just don't like listing it. I don't mind selling it, shipping it, all that stuff. Hey, it's easy. It doesn't take room, but to have to deal with it is crazy. Just got a message from somebody. I have some of the the Bazooka Bubblegum Edition hats, and I just had somebody message me asking if I'll sell the pins separately, which I won't. A lot of people like those pins, and I actually talked to my local store, and they said people kept stealing them, so they took them off all their hats. They had the the Bazooka Edition, but they were missing all those, so he's like, yeah, we had to take them off. We'll get them to you if you buy them, but people kept stealing them. Next up, we've got a Under Armour hat. This is one we picked up from an Academy online sale. We're going to be talking about that soon. And this is a Under Armour hat. Picked this up for $11 and selling it for $30. Just got the buy box on this, so hopefully they start moving pretty fast. But it's taken a minute. I've had those for a long minute and just now got the right sizes for that. All right, and we are out of tape, so give me a second. We're going to refill the tape here. Recon said, I am listing clothing right now. Yeah, I don't mind it if I don't have to take pictures, but I, of course, have to take pictures for most of them, so it gets annoying, and I don't have a good setup for it. That's the thing, too. If I had a decent setup for clothing, it probably wouldn't be that bad, but I just don't have a good setup. I actually have backpacks right now that I don't have stock images for, which I normally use. You guys know me well enough for that. And I just haven't listed them. I've had them forever, and I just haven't listed them because I have to take my own photos, and I take terrible photos if I don't have like a photo box or something like that set up for it. I took them outside, and it even looked bad, which I don't I don't know how I do that. Make something look bad outside, but I did. All right. Next up, we've got this Champions hat. We paid $6 for these and sold it for $25, I think. Was getting more for these, but then somebody came in and started competing, and they've got like thousands of them, so I did have to drop my price to match theirs. But we're sharing so far on the listing, so won't complain. These are like a twill. These are not the dad hat version like we've been selling a lot of, and that's why I paid more for them originally. But like I said, still not bad. $6 into 20. Did I say 25 or 27? 25 is not a terrible deal, especially for Champion. We've talked about that before. That brand is crazy that it's come back so much. All right. So what are we doing this week? What are you guys up to this week? So my goal this week is to buy a truck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really have a lot in my spare time. Then I'll do some listings, but my main goal is to buy a truck. So I'm spending a lot of time trying to find one, and might have to make a trip to go get one, which not looking forward to, especially when you drive to the one and they sell it out from underneath of you. It doesn't really give you confidence to go drive, you know, several hours. But we're probably going to have to. I've got a couple of them that I want to get lined up and just go take a trip and try to get one of them. What kind of sucks with that too is it obviously requires me to take my wife with me, which I don't mind taking my wife. Don't take that wrong. But it means she can't be, you know, doing stuff. It also means we have to take our dog, which is not easy to travel with all the time either. So there's just a lot of things like that unfortunately I just have to deal with. Makes it rough. I have a rough life, you guys. I feel like all I've done is complain in this stream. I apologize. I think that's all I've done in this stream. You guys are putting up with it, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your guys' support. What do you guys think of this idea, the later night? I know Recon said he liked it because he's available then. Didn't mean to stick that label down, but it's going. What do you guys prefer? Would you prefer this over the Monday morning? For those of you that, you know, catch us on Monday mornings, does that work better? Are there some of you that aren't able to catch us Monday because of your job or whatever? Well, let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Would like to do Delco complaint. Thanks, Recon. I would like to get a time slot that works a little better for everybody if that is the case. Again, never gave it much thought until a couple weeks ago when I did the Wednesday night stream that there may be people that would love to watch this live that work and, you know, and would be able to join us and hang out with us and stuff like that, but they can't because they work or whatever. That's why we're doing it now, to give it a shot and see how everybody likes it. So let me know. I would love to hear your responses on that. New channel, Delco Complains. Ooh, that should be a new segment. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll take and start segmenting these live streams. So like the first 20 minutes is just me complaining, get it all out of the way. Everybody can make fun of me. And then we'll move on from there. I kind of like that. I do want to do that. That'll be cool. We're going to have to, dude, I'm telling you, I want to get on a podcast. I want to start a podcast. I don't really have the time to start a podcast. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. If I could find some people to do it with, it would be a lot of fun to do like a podcast. Have different segments, have different things. A roast a seller and just go find a random eBay seller and just roast them or something. I don't know. It would be fun. Next up, we've got some Nike underwear here. We got some boxer briefs from Nike. We picked these up from a Kohl's clearance event a while ago. I'm talking probably a year and a half ago. I honestly forgot about them. I have a whole tote of them over here that are listed on Amazon, and I just literally forgot I had them. And they've just now gotten to the price point that I had them priced at, apparently. So these ones here we paid $14 for, and they just sold for $45. So that tends to happen a lot with Amazon. I will price something at the market whenever I list it, and then I forget to go back and check, and the markets change, obviously. But it's kind of nice because a lot of this stuff that has a good brand and, you know, is going to come back, it's going to sell out, whatever. You can leave at that higher price, and basically once the competition sells out, the people will pay yours. So it works out in the end. Another pair of Tiger Stripe Hey Dudes going out. Again, we sold a bunch of these this weekend, and we are down. We've definitely sold over half of them, probably down to a quarter of them left in random sizes that aren't selling as fast. But hey, we'll take it. That was a great, great deal. Hope to find some more of those here soon, right after we move. That way I can stock back up, because that inventory moves fast and it's great profit. All right, that finishes up eBay. We just got a few more. That finishes up Amazon. We got a few more eBay listings to go out, and we'll be good to go. Next up, we've got some women's tins, size Converse. It's actually really funny. I had a buyer contact me about these. They wanted a picture of the tag or something on the inside. I don't know why. I asked them, I was like, is this about size? Or it's got some scuffing on the front here. Is it about size or something like that? I was going to try to help them out, and they never responded. And that was on Thursday or Friday. And then they literally sold Saturday. And I thought they just bought them. I thought it was just the original, you know, the person that had messaged me just decided to buy them. So I didn't think anything of it until they sent me a message literally about an hour and a half ago and said, oh, I guess they sold. Sorry. I was like, I don't know why they're apologizing to me, but I guess somebody else actually ended up buying it, which is pretty crazy. Guys, these have some scuffs. I think it's just from the box again, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, they're coming right off, but I got a few of them. It's like on the soles, because the sole isn't worn. This doesn't look like it is. You got to watch these cold shoes. I've been getting a few of them that I had to return a couple. I bought 2 left feet, and they didn't catch it either. I wasn't really paying close attention on some slides and then some other things. But I keep finding shoes like this. These ones actually might have been slightly tried on. Double checking. No, it's not coming off. No, I think it's just the sole. Sole is just a little off-colored, but that's all right. We're just gonna shine out. Like I said, I'm not out here trying to sell you shoes as new. That's not the thing. But sometimes, like this, especially in this box, they just rub on the box and make it look dirty, and I don't want to deal with the return. So we'll do a little shoe shine for them on these ones before we send it out, just to make sure they're happy with it. Yeah, it's just like right along the edge here where it lays in the box. Just gets a little marked up. All right, cool. Anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting that it actually sold. Just funny that it actually sold out. I felt like that only happened to me. Now we get Delco scams. Dang, bro. Roasting me tonight. What was I saying? I got all distracted now. Got me with my new channel ideas. I'm gonna have to go steal those or go reserve them so nobody steals them. Anyways, yeah, these sold from underneath somebody else. That's how my story of my life the past few. I've been several good deals on trucks and several different good deals on other things, and go to finish them. Get the application on the rental, whatever it is, and find out it's sold out for some reason. Just like, all right. Anyway, all right, here we go. My scam shoes are done. Back in the box. Like I said, we paid $22 for these after tax and sold them for $60. Oops, peeled the box off a bit there. I do peel these display stickers off too, just in case. Selling used shoes as new. Yeah. They're new. I paid new price for them. I paid new clearance price for them. Let's put them that way. Oh, if this channel ever takes off, I'm probably going to have so many haters, honestly. But I don't know what reseller doesn't. I know Adam gets them a lot over on his channel, and I watch some podcasts and stuff, and they talk about it, and it's like, people either just don't understand business, or they don't understand, it's not free market, but like how things work. It's really sad. Like, it's really gotten out of hand to where people just, they get so offended over everything. I mean, like these people that have other, reselling channels, people get offended that they buy and sell storage units because that's people's belongings and all this stuff, and it's just like, come on. They didn't pay. It's just like, when you foreclose on a house or whatever, yeah, that's technically your house, but you didn't pay for it, that type of stuff. It's just, I don't know. People just don't get it. And they complain about it and they hate on it. Recon says he's going to farm some haters for me. I appreciate that. I do have a hater. If you're in here, thank you so much. Actually, the thumbs down reaction still helps just as much as the thumbs up does, especially on interaction level. So thank you. I've had somebody in here that's been doing it for the past few videos. So, I'd love to talk about whatever you have displeased, but that's okay. We are good. All right. Next up, we have these LA Dodgers. These are kind of like a trucker hat. Got a little rope on the front here. We picked this up from a Bread and Butter call a long time ago. And evidently, all you tankers on Bread and Butter. No, I'm just kidding. The guys do really good about not tanking the listings over there. And if we do find tankers, then they are dealt with. But in the group. But anyway, I must have the lowest price now because I've all of a sudden sold 2 of them this week. And I've had them for over a year and a half. I bought too many. I think I bought like 25 or something at the time. Again, when I first started retail arbitrage, I did what everybody else does by spending too much on certain items and buying too many, like those Crocs and stuff like that. It's going to happen. But eventually we'll make our money. I think we only paid $10 for these. And like I said, we sold it for $25. So decent little profit, but would have liked to have not had to hold it for quite as long. Again, though, it's a hat, so I really can't complain. All my other hats I'm holding that long too. All right, down to the last few here. I'm not sure, guys, like I said, about how we're going to do the next live stream. We might try to keep it on the Sunday night. We've had some pretty good interactions tonight, so I appreciate that. We might keep it there. We'll see what people say when they rewatch tomorrow. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I want to just be able to get a few more people in the lives. That way, not just so it's easier for me, but I feel like it's more entertaining for you guys. And gives me a lot more interaction instead of just me literally rambling. Because I know I do a good job of not shutting up. I do a really good job with that. But in all fairness, I do really run out, and I get to the point like where I am right now, where I have no idea what I'm going to talk about next. So the comments and all that stuff help out a lot to keep it flowing. And then, you know, just even you guys being able to just talk and discuss different things is really cool and hopefully enjoyable. We got a Stanley here. We picked these up. This is a bread and butter call out from before last Christmas, before last quarter. Actually, this is back from like October, if I remember correctly. More scamming. You're welcome, Recon. No, these get little scuffs on them. They clean from the what's it called? The shipping box. When they ship them in, they come right off. They're not damaged. It's just little scuff marks. Anyway, yeah, we got these. Like I said, we picked these up for $25, which is a pretty good deal for these at the time. They were not discontinued. They had released and sold out, so it was going to be hopefully something that sold pretty well. And then, what was it? Not even, they didn't ship in time. They were supposed to be here by fourth quarter. They didn't ship, so we didn't have them for fourth quarter. I got them like the week after New Year's or something. Oops. So we weren't able to get as much for them, but they are still selling for me for $50. I sell 1 to 2 a week, and I think we're down to about 10 of them left. So we're still making, I think, $10-15, but not as high as they were. They were selling for 60 and 70. And I know a lot of people in the group actually sold theirs locally, which I tried, but my local market got all the scam hate as far as, you know, what's it called? You know, you're trying to scam people. You can go buy these for this price, all that stuff. Just crazy, but they didn't like it too much. So I didn't move too many locally, but they've been, like I said, selling pretty regularly. And honestly, again, $10-15 profit. No, not as high as I would like it to be, but it's not bad. It really is not bad. All right. We're just packing that in this shoebox here. And I'm going to ship that out to, let's see, who bought it here? I don't remember where this one is going. Going to Indiana. Dyer, Indiana. Go figure. All right. Recon said, I'm trying to attack Death Pile. I need these clothing piles gone. Dude, you have piles of everything. I don't know how you get anything in your house. I thought I was bad. No, I'm just kidding. Just giving you a hard time, Recon. Sorry. Off shot here. Or at least most of me is off shot. Trying to get this in this bag. There we go. Probably got my butt in that shot. Exactly what you guys wanted to see. All right. Last couple orders here. We got, what, 3 orders. So if you guys have any questions or ideas or comments. Oh, we haven't done our return segment. I forgot. All right. We'll do the return segment after this. Show you guys what came in returns. I actually really like doing this. I don't know why. But just opening whatever we got returned for the week on the live stream is kind of cool. Next up, we got Jonathan, though, who picked up the UK hat. This is, we picked these up from my source. They had like 1 or 2 of these random hats and got this one for like, what did I pay? $8, I think. $8 maybe for this one. Really cool neon blue. Sold it for $30 and it sold pretty fast. I might have priced it a little too low, but we'll take it. We'll take the money. 9 into 30 all day long for these hats. Gotta move some of them. Gotta move some of them. Hey, at least you list. I just let it sit. That's true. I feel like I haven't gotten anything listed. Like, I have done terrible with my listing the past couple of weeks. I've got enough to do like 5 listings a day, but normally I try to have it like 12 to 15 a day, and it just hasn't been happening. I did it again, guys. You guys get me so distracted. No, I'm just kidding. Forgot to put the card in there. Advertising for Delco's Dead Stock. Perfect time for a little segment into an advertisement. Delco's Dead Stock, your #1 place for dead stock hats. How about that? Definitely check it out if you haven't. just added some more NFL, and then hopefully going to be getting some more up this week as well. But we'll see. Definitely check it out though if you haven't, and let me know. I'll hook you up with a good deal over there on a hat. Got plenty of them, that's for sure. All right. Next up, we've got another one of those LA hats. And then one more hat after that. I feel like I'm missing something, guys. Hopefully I'm not. Unfortunately, I've been watching my phone, and I cannot get the tape this time. I have not seen any new orders come in, so that's a little disappointing. Been on here for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours now, and no new orders. I'm telling you guys, eBay does not like me at all right now. Hopefully it gets better soon. Hopefully. All right, forgot to put the card in that one again. LA Dodgers hat, the brown one that we sold earlier, going out. All right. So last order, and then we'll do the returns and whatever else. Oh, I got some new merch in too. Goodness. We'll have to maybe cover that in the next video because I don't want people to leave and not be able to see that. But anyway. Last up, we've got this Los Angeles Lakers hat. This one is new without tags, and we did list it that way. Picked it up from my source that we get those one-off hats from, and picked that one up. I think we only paid $3 for it, and actually sold it for $30. I can't believe it sold. It's kind of a classic, got a vintage look to it, and that's the only reason I left it that price. But it sold, so we will take it. Definitely take it. For sure. All right. So for returns, I don't know what we've got. We got 2 of them that came in this week, which isn't too bad over a full week, especially when you're selling on Amazon. I mean, we're doing 10 to 20 sales a day on Amazon, so definitely not bad return rate. Again, I would love to have 0, but in a perfect world, honestly, I've been getting just as many eBay returns, whether it's item not as described, which is just them working their way around it, or taking returns but offering your stocking fee. I actually had somebody buy a hat by mistake. I already printed the label and everything, and luckily I know the postal office driver, so I was able to get the thing back, but they scanned the label. Got it back, was able to cancel it. I refunded them minus the shipping label cost, and they were fine with that, but they said they bought it. Literally, they said they stuck their phone in their pocket and accidentally bought it. Sounds like a pretty good excuse, right? So, but hey, we weren't out anything. We got the back, and it really didn't take but one little quick little trip to get it back, so it wasn't that big of a deal. All right, first order we got coming out, and I'm gonna go ahead and just take a picture because I don't like how they shipped it. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't feel like it's new on the package though on the inside, so we're gonna just take a picture here in case we have to file. No idea what it is. Let's find out. Oh, look at that. I don't remember having an open return for Lightning McQueen Crocs. Interesting. It does say return though. Wonder how old this return is. So they did return these Lightning McQueen Crocs. I'll take them out of the package here. They are in the package. It was in a bubble. Tags are still attached. Legit still attached. No wear on the bottom. No dirt or anything. Make sure they light up. Yep, they both light up. So, and they look legit. They're not knockoffs. The knockoffs are so easy to tell. So, did get a pair of those back. That's unfortunate. We've been selling these for about 120, 130 bucks. I don't remember this return, so I'm going to have to look and see. Yeah, if that's like an old return that somebody just finally remembered to send back, or if it's something else. Let's see. Recon said, hey, eBay is so weird. It comes in waves. When I don't look at it, I sell a ton. Yeah, mine come in waves too, but unfortunately not recently. Next up is the second return. Got a little tiny label on this. This is kind of a weird box. It's actually like one of those ones you rip open, so that's what we're going to do. But again, we are going to take photos of it just in case. If I ever feel like it's a little bit suspicious, you can take photos after you open it, but I just like taking photos before so they can't say anything. I can't open it that way. All right, let's just see what we got in here on this return. This was another Amazon one. I really don't know what it is. I don't pay any attention when they open it. Oh, okay. So this one is actually normally wouldn't be an issue, but has some bad news. So this actually, somebody paid like $90 for this bucket hat. This is a Kangol brand bucket. It's this suede like corduroy feel. It's actually kind of a neat idea. I guess I wouldn't wear one, but it is what it is, kind of a cool design. Brand new with the tags. They didn't wear it or anything. Do the smell test. But unfortunately, like I said, obviously we're gonna have to refund them. You know, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It only cost me $2.50 for the item and like $4 to ship it. The problem though is I actually had this brand file two. Well, they didn't file IP complaints, but they removed my items, claiming that they were counterfeit. So yeah, they were IP complaints. Two of them last night on two different listings. I rushed over and pulled all my other listings down so I didn't lose my Amazon account for it. Never had an issue with this brand before. I've been selling them for almost a year, but unfortunately they are right now. So I'm going to pull those listings, list them on eBay, and then maybe eventually we'll move back into selling them on Amazon. But when they go through and start hitting accounts like that, you don't want to take those hits on your Amazon account. So we pulled those as quick as we could. Luckily, I was home and able to do that. So really bummed because we were getting crazy money, $60, $70 out of these all day long. And yeah, now we're not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. So this is what it is. You know what? We're got a few more minutes here. Yeah, we're not 2 hours yet. Really don't have anything else going out, guys, that I can see at least. I could check my orders in just a second. But we did get a little bit of merch in, just a test run. I don't have anything to give out or anything like that at this point. But I thought it was pretty cool. We were able to get this mouse pad here with the Delco's Deadstock logo. So this is merch. I'm sorry, this merch is for my website. I haven't done any Delco resells. I need to do a design and kind of do some stuff with that before I do merch for it. But we did some Delco's Deadstock merch. Got this cool mouse pad here with the logo. The logo came out really well. I spent a bunch of time reworking this logo, getting it down to 3 colors and stuff like that. So we got that in, and then we got a couple of t-shirts. T-shirts are all right. They didn't come out the best, but go ahead and show you guys those real fast that we got in, just with the logo on the back and then same thing on the front. But this actually, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it on camera or not, but it actually says delcosdeadstock.com down there. I have to rework this logo. I forgot I didn't do that one, and so there's some white lines and stuff that we didn't get cleaned out. The only way I've found to work on these is literally going in and just blowing the image up towards like pixel by pixel and making sure they all match and lined up. It took me way longer than it should have for this logo to get fixed, but it is there. We got that one, and we tried a gray one too, just to see what color combos looked better. Let me know, what do you guys think? Obviously a little bit of a different logo there too on the back, but let me know which one you guys like better, and if I should do some more of this. I want to put some of this on the website. I think it'd be really cool. Again, probably me gonna be the only one buying it for now until the website takes off, but thought it came out pretty cool, and I love branding stuff. I don't know, it's really cool. I guess it's kind of a sense of pride. I don't know, maybe that's bad, but I think it just came out pretty cool, so we got that going on. I don't think there's anything else, guys. What else do we have to talk about reselling wise? I think we're gonna wrap it up. Definitely, guys, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys for joining. Really would love your opinions on the time frame, what you guys want to see with that. Also, if you guys want any topics or anything like that, you're always welcome to recommend those. Thank you guys for those of you that send the messages and give the ideas. I have not forgotten about them, and I know a lot of you guys have sent over stuff and I just haven't been able to address it. I want those ideas. Okay, keep sending them. A lot of these are a little more intricate and not as easy to just point and shoot like we do the video here. But once we get set up, once we get in the new place, the new office, I would like to actually have set up kind of like a studio so we can do this a little bit better, more easily, I guess you should say. And then we'll be able to do some cool stuff on the places, as far as, you know, whether that's sharing the screen, actually showing you guys what we're doing, more than just the what sold videos. Okay. So keep sending those ideas. Please let me know if you've got more of those. We'll definitely cover as many of those as we can once we get set up. Be a couple months before we can get into that. But we do want to do that. Thank you guys for your support, all the likes and follows on Instagram and Facebook. If you haven't already, check it out. I've tried my best to keep up over there, and that's how I can share with you guys updates like when we're doing the streams. It's way easier than YouTube. YouTube really needs to fix that, but it's definitely helpful there. Next week's stream, guys, again, I don't know when it'll be. I would like to try to schedule it for Sunday evening. If there's a certain time that works better, obviously I want to see some of the feedback that we get from this one, but definitely let me know if you have an opinion on that. For now, we'll go ahead and tentatively set it for that, but I may be out of town. I don't know, just with how everything's going. I may not, might have to take a trip to Dallas or something to get a truck. or you know, go pick up something in Phoenix, whatever it is. It's going to get crazy, so it is going to be kind of sporadic. Please follow and like those Facebook or Instagram pages just so we can keep up to date. You guys aren't thinking I left you. So we'll see how it goes. For right now, we'll tentatively set up for next Sunday evening, but it probably will change to something else if something crazy goes on. So I think that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much again for all you do, for all your watching and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys for all those in the chat. If you're rewatching this, thank you so much. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of the next one. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.